Hello everyone, my name is PJ and welcome to The Void. Today we're going to talk about an old animated Flash series that started on Newgrounds in 2006 called Unforgotten Realms. It, along with Order of the Stick, was how I got into D&D. And I feel like people who go back and watch Unforgotten Realms these days are probably going to be influenced by it negatively by the way the characters play. It's not meant to be an accurate representation of how people play D&D. It's about two fuckers fucking with each other. So I thought that I would go back and look at each episode one at a time, just the beginning episodes, because after a while they stopped talking about game mechanics and game mastering and just play the game and move along with the story. Which was never finished, by the way. It got 50 episodes in before the creator lost his motivation to continue, which it happens to all of us. It happens to me a lot, so I can understand. Although I am glad that you are continuing the series now with another offshoot series called Unforgotten Realms Z. Very cheeky. Loved the first episode. Why do you sound so different though? I mean, you were an adult when you started making that series, right? What happened? I'm only going to be talking about why Mike is a terrible DM in this case. He's not a DM anymore in Unforgotten Realms Z, and for good reason. But I'm not going to be talking about why Rob is a bad player, because it is up to the DM to steer players in the right direction and put a stop to bad behavior. The only reason that Mike is playing with him is because...
Why am I even playing with you? You lack friends?
He's the only one you've got. Now, it's also important to point out that I am making a very educated assumption that the game that they are playing is Dungeons & Dragons 3.5. That's the edition that was out at the time when both the original and the reboot aired. It was 2006 and 2009, respectively. And there's also a bunch more evidence. First of all, they talk about various 3.5 mechanics, like offhand penalties and exotic weapon proficiencies. In the first episode of the original, Mike is clearly seen holding a book that says D&D. Also, the series is called Unforgotten Realms, which is a parody of The Forgotten Realms, which is currently the official setting of D&D. It wasn't at the time, but it was an available setting. The Forgotten Realms has existed for decades. So let's fire up the first episode and talk about all of the things that Mike did wrong.
What are you doing, Mike?
I'm playing Unforgotten Realms. Wanna play?
What the hell is Unforgotten Realms?
It's a role-playing game, Rob.
And you're playing it by yourself.
What, do you wanna play?
Okay, immediately we have our first example of Mike not just being a terrible DM, but also being a terrible person. This is not his house. This is Rob's basement, and Rob did not know that he was here. And he is here playing Dungeons & Dragons by himself. Which you can do in your own home, or in a home where you've been invited. Mike?
Well, the first thing we need to do is make characters.
Okay, I want to be this one.
Rob, that's a dragon.
So? I thought this was a role-playing game.
You can't be a dragon, you idiot.
Yes, you can.
You have to pick a race from the book.
Page 76.
Then I'll be a lumberjack.
Lumberjack isn't a class, moron.
Just because lumberjack isn't a class doesn't mean he can't be a lumberjack. Just let him be a barbarian and uses an axe and specializes in being a lumberjack. You can give him profession lumberjack or craft woodcutter as a bonus skill. And everybody gets a first level feat anyway. You can give him like something like skill focus woodcutting as his first level feat. You can't just tell your player, no, you can't be a lumberjack unless you have a damn good reason for it.
I just told you, lumberjack isn't a class.
That's not what it says here, Mike.
Thanks for writing my limited edition book, jerkface.
If any of my players write in any of my books, I will literally kick them out of my house. With my foot.
You can't wield nunchucks as a sorcerer.
What? Why not?
You won't have the exotic weapon feat, so you'll roll a -4 on all your attacks.
I must repeat, the bit about everyone starting with a feat. Just give him exotic weapon proficiency in Nunchaku as his first level feat. It's not that hard.
You and your companion, Alumus Nalo.
Wait. Who the hell is this guy?
That's me, you idiot.
Wait, so you're gonna play both the good guys and the bad guys?
Yes, because I don't think you're smart enough to travel by yourself.
There is nothing wrong with a DM giving the players an NPC companion to help them out at early levels, especially since the game is very difficult solo. This is not an NPC companion. This is the DM's PC, because, as he previously implied, he wants to play too, despite being the DM. Word of advice: DM PCs are always a bad idea.
I search for traps.
What? You aren't even anywhere important yet. Why are you searching for traps?
Ha! I rolled a 20.
Fine, you see no traps.
But I rolled a 20. That means I should see all the traps.
You do! You see all 0 traps!
Okay, Mike, I know that you're just humoring Rob, but you need to tell him that he can't roll skill or ability checks without you calling for them. If you say that there's no traps, you need to... yeah, he wasn't listening to you, but just tell him that the die roll does nothing because it's impossible for him to fail this check since there are no traps. Just tell him he automatically succeeds.
Hey, is that a tavern?
No, that is a cow.
I'm pretty sure that's a tavern, Mike.
It's not a tavern.
Mike, can you make believe for 3 seconds that cow is a tavern?
No.
Okay, is the lady cute?
Sure, whatever.
Can I ask her to sleep with me?
Wow, fine. But you have to do a charisma check first.
19 plus 4, that means I score!
Unfortunately, I mistake the lady for a guy.
What? You total fag, I'm not sleeping with a guy.
Too late, you already did.
What? But that was like 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, he wasn't too impressed.
Okay, Mike, you already created a scenario in which there is a young lady and the PC wants to use a charisma check to try and woo her into sleeping with him. If you called for a charisma check, that means you had a plan for what would happen if he succeeded or failed. And when he succeeded, you decided to fuck him over for trying to play as his character the way he intended. You're not making the game fun for your player. You're just dicking him over for not doing exactly what you want him to do.
Why, of course, my lad. You can find such a herb in the town of Moonwell Pass.
I'm DMing Rob. You can't play the parts of the NPCs.
So what, I'm supposed to just sit here and watch you talk to yourself?
Yes.
By the way, nice nunchucks. Oh, why thank you. I crafted them myself. Finest tip. Whoa!
Whoops.
Don't worry, Mike. I'm sure there'll be no serious repercussions to your rash actions. Guilty!
Rats.
I will say this on Mike's behalf. At least he was willing to punish his own character for breaking the law. Although I'm pretty sure this is still just him trying to maintain the level of immersion that he wants out of this game, and not what Rob wants.
Wait, where did you get that?
What? This pizza? I used our gold because I was hungry.
No, I mean that.
What? This pizza? I used your wallet because I was hungry.
You idiot!
He wrote in your book, and he stole your wallet. Stop playing with him. Find other friends. I know this cartoon was made when the internet existed.
Okay, but I'm carrying the axe.
See? He's carrying an axe because he wants to be a lumberjack. You should have just let him be a lumberjack, Mike. Instead, he ended up picking sorcerer, from which he only casts one spell over and over, and it's never really of any use.
We're under attack!
We're not under attack, you idiot.
Just listen to the music, Mike. That clearly means this is a random encounter.
It's not a battle, it's just an old beggar.
That's what he wants you to think, Mike. Just look at the monocle. He's clearly a powerful wizard.
For crying out loud, you just drew that monocle on a second ago, Rob!
Rob thinks that this is a random encounter, but Mike had a picture of the homeless beggar drawn that Rob drew on. Mike, you need to put a stop to this.
Now I attack him with my nunchucks.
What? Why? He's just an old beggar.
An old beggar is still worth some XP, Mike. This is why you suck at video games.
Technically, the rules for D&D 3.5 specify that if something isn't a challenge, and the old defenseless beggar is not a challenge, then they're not worth any XP.
10 and 13. -4 for exotic weapon, -4 for dual wield, and -8 for offhand. That gives you 2 and 1.
Did I hit him?
Did you hit the defenseless old beggar who you blinded? Sure, you did.
Feel the wrath of Canadian lumber, fool!
Ah!
Okay, even if the beggar only had a dexterity score of 1, he should still have an armor class of at least 5. There's nothing else about his appearance that suggests that his armor class would be any lower. Why are you letting him hit? Just because you want this to be done and over with?
You killed the old beggar.
And you gave Rob XP for it anyway. Encouraging his behavior. Thank you, Mike.
Don't touch it, you idiot! It's poisonous! Now you have to roll to see if you're poisoned.
What? No, screw that.
Roll.
Oh, lame, a 3.
The rat's minor and venom infects Snoopy after touching the rat.
Bullshit! Screw this game!
Element splashed Snoopy with the holy water he was carrying.
What the hell did you do that for?
You mean cure the poison so you don't fall over dead?
Okay, these are some examples of homebrew and rules changes. Dire rats, even undead one, don't cause poison on contact. They can cause disease through biting people, and holy water doesn't cure either of those. Make a note of this. Mike said that he cured Schmoopy's poison so that he would not die from it. Remember that.
The two heroes head eastward when they come.
Okay, why is the undead dire rat suddenly following you? You didn't make any handle animal checks. Why are you letting this happen, Mike? Put your goddamn foot down.
I also want to take this wheel.
What? Why do you want a battered and broken carriage wheel?
So I can use it as a shield.
You can't use a wheel as a shield, asshole.
I can use whatever I want as a shield, dickwad.
Rob is correct. In this case, I would say that the wagon wheel counts as an improvised shield and provides a +1 bonus to armor class, but without any of the benefits you'd normally get for wielding a buckler.
Second thought, I want to take 2 wheels.
What? Why?
So I can dual wield shields. That's like double the armor class.
Unfortunately, in D&D 3.5 and in 5th edition, you can't benefit from more than 1 shield. All Mike has to do is tell Rob that. Instead, he says this.
Wow. Dual wield shields. You are a complete idiot, but if you want to carry those around with you, I'm not going to stop you.
And you know why that is, Mike?
Why?
I cast flare.
Oh, God! Ugh.
You know, I'm starting to wonder if Mike is actually on board with most of Rob's shenanigans, because every time Shmoopy casts flare on Mike's character, Mike still acts out the being blinded. Why? Are you trying to encourage Rob's bad behavior? Do you enjoy it?
I cast detect magic, and I detect that Petey can totally talk.
Why, hello, Rob. Nice facial features.
Oh, well, thank you, Petey.
God, you idiot. Ugh. Shmoopy casts detect magic again, and the magical axe in his backpack starts to glow bright blue.
Wait, why did you make him detect magic again? Why? You're taking his spell slots away from him. I mean, he already cast it once. Just tell him that first casting is what determined that the axe is magic.
Rob, shut up! You're ruining my adventure!
Oh, never mind. I guess Mike does think that Rob's ruining the game. So I must ask again, why are you still playing with him?
Elimus hides behind a tree and watches as the bandits get even closer. This is your last chance, Shmoopy! Elimus cries.
Alright, I hide my gear in the bush, and I put on the beggar panties.
What?
The bandits walk closer to Shmoopy, and he can see that one of the bandits is quite shorter than the other. Someone rude and completely intolerant may describe him as a stupid-looking midget. Shmoopy says to the bandits, "Spare some gold for the poor, friend," but they totally ignore him and keep walking.
Nice work, Schmoopy. That's probably the most pointless thing you ever could have done.
Schmoopy holds up the 2 bags of gold he so pickpocketed from the bandits and tells Mike to eat a fat one.
What? You can't just take stuff. You have to roll to see if they notice.
Well, they would obviously know I'm up to something if I'm sitting here rolling dice, Mike.
Whatever.
First of all, Rob's plan is very clever, and honestly should probably be rewarded in some way. In 3.5, I'd say some bonus XP. In 5th edition, inspiration if they don't already have it. But the pickpocketing thing, definitely make him roll for that. And if he refuses to roll for it, roll for him.
Schmoopy finds 32 gold pieces in one bag and 14 gold in the other.
What? That's it?
They're just small-time bandits, moron. God.
Actually, in D&D 3.5, the lowest challenge rating any humanoid bandit could be is CR 1/2, which means that they should have about 150 gold on them.
The 2 heroes finally arrive at the bridge. The bridge is made out of an old fine stone and has obviously been around for decades.
Oh crap, Mike. I think we have a problem.
What?
My care cup is totally empty. Can we skip the boring bridge architect stories and freaking get there already?
When they reach the...
Okay. Mike had one of 2 reasons for putting that much detail into the bridge's description. Because otherwise, they're just in the wilderness. Why should he be talking about the bridge? Obviously because there's something important about it. There's something about the bridge that's going to come up in the story. But no, nothing does. Which begs the question, why did he describe it at all? It just seems like he's trying to be extra flowery about the environment, even though he hasn't been flowering about it up until this point. What are you doing, Mike?
Hey, Mike, what are you guys doing?
Screw off, Timmy.
We're playing Unforgotten Realms, Timmy. Can I play too? You're kinda young, sport. Maybe when you're older. Kinda young, huh? Well, we'll see who's too young when you have to deal with Timmy the Evil!
Isn't that right, Professor Walrus?
Yes, indeed.
And here we have the introduction of Rob's younger brother Timmy, who creates a character in Mike and Rob's world named Timmy the Evil, as well as his right-hand man, Professor Walrus. I don't know how he managed to do that, because he doesn't have Mike's permission to put these characters in the game. He just kind of sneaks into the room, writes some stuff on their papers, and Mike goes along with it. Mike, you don't know what story you wrote? And later on, you even acknowledged the stuff was added into the game by Timmy, and yet you keep moving forward with it. It's like, you... Do you want him to play or not? And honestly, there's a lot of evidence later in the series that Timmy is just a way better DM than Mike anyway, so why don't you just let Timmy run the game for you, Mike, since you obviously want to play?
I want to cast this spell.
Okay, but Rob, remember, these are undead humanoids and will reflect back light-based attacks, so don't go cast...
I cast Flare!
Ugh, Schmoopy casts Flare, which bounces off the skeleton's bones back at him, hitting him directly in the face. Ow!
There you go. That's how you do a homebrew universe. You explain to the players, before they take any action, what you've changed, to give them the opportunity to change their mind. You tried to do that, but Rob didn't listen. Not your fault. Now you can punish him.
Wait, what about that thing?
What thing?
That crystal.
Wait, I don't see a crystal on this page.
Then what's that?
I don't know, that could be a freaking rock for all I know. This isn't a very good drawing.
That's definitely a crystal, Mike. My brother draws these things all the time in his little, games. Wait a second.
I guess that would explain this Timmy the Evil character sheet.
That backstabbing son of a bitch.
It says here that using the evil powers of the evil indestructible crystal of change, Timmy the Evil resurrected an evil necromancer from the evil corpse of a not-so-evil but soon-to-become very evil beggar.
So if we destroy the crystal, we kill the beggar.
The evil indestructible crystal of change has the ability to store the soul of a living into the crystal for untold periods of time, but whoever used it will be swapped inside.
Man, Mike, this is way too confusing. Can I just destroy the crystal now?
God, basically, I guess the beggar was trapped in the crystal and a necromancer was put into his body. So I guess if we use the crystal, they would swap back again or something.
Isn't that fantastic? Like, they just found out that Timmy is usurping their game, but they are totally on board with it and decide to keep the changes that he made without their permission. Just let Timmy run your game!
Fire! You did it, Smoopy!
Notice that Mike didn't actually make Rob roll for that attack. One of the few examples of Mike actually using the rule of cool, which I don't completely agree with the usage of. It's fine to let cool things happen, but it's not fine to let the players just automatically succeed at things if otherwise they're all going to die. I mean, Mike is the one who is allowing this unbalanced encounter to be in the game, the one that he didn't plan for. He signed up for this. He's the DM. All he has to do is say, no, the skeletons aren't actually part of the game. We're going to take them out and get back to the story that I wrote. Instead, I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
There's no way out, Smoopy. We're gonna have to jump. I hope you can swim.
There's no point. They'll just follow us down. Plus, I can't swim.
You can just use your base swim stat, idiot. I'm sure it'll be more than enough.
Well, it probably would have been, but I actually took points out of my base swim stat and put them into my running from the lady stat.
D&D 3.5 does not have any character creation rules that let you swap swim speed for land speed. Also, Shmoopy, you didn't make your character. Mike wrote your stats for you. So no, you never did anything like that, and Mike is just going along with it. Again.
By fire beam burn!
And that is the last we ever see of Sir Shmoopy's original corporeal form. But since it's cool, and since he does come up with a very good plan for how he can maintain his character in the game, Mike allows it, and similar to what I did with Surge and the Hoarder,
God damn, who's cramped in that crystal? It's about time you got me. What the hell, Mike?
he allows him to come back, but with a penalty.
Roman, we got a problem and you're the only man for the job. Mostly because Paladin is kind of a girly class and you're the only male Paladin around, but that's not the point.
Okay, I know this part is completely off topic and has nothing to do with Mike being a terrible DM, but why does it have to be a male Paladin?
Wait, Mike, we don't have to fight.
Huh?
I speak wolf.
You can't speak wolf, you idiot. Oh, wait, I guess you can.
What? No, you were just telling him that no, he can't. Switching bodies and even being polymorphed does not automatically grant you new knowledge. Especially not languages. Okay, you're just going along with this because you want to move the story along and you don't want wolves to be a part of it. Whatever, Mike.
Wait a second. How do the wolves speak English?
Haha, silly, that's because we're not really wolves. We're optical illusions.
What?
What's wrong?
How can the wolves be optical illusions if you're in one?
I guess this body I'm in was a real wolf or something?
What was the point of introducing wolf characters if they're optical illusions? You can't just say something is an optical illusion and make it disappear. What is the point of that?
Well, the point was to get me into this wolf body.
Oh, never mind, I guess it was Rob's idea. But at least Mike went along with it.
Why would you even want to be in a wolf body?
Well, at first I really didn't like it, but I mean, these wolf boobs really grow on you fast.
I can see how they would.
Alimus whispers to Smoopy and says it would be a good idea to turn around and to fight an opponent far beyond their realm of strength.
But what about the haunted house Zeros just told us about? Yeah, you know, the one with ghosts and witches and vampires and such.
Stop doing flashbacks, you idiot!
ogre sound.
Okay, the flashbacks were a fourth wall thing. That's something the players were doing. That is not something that Nalo would say is stop doing flashbacks. So why would it wake up the ogre? Why is Mike letting that wake up the ogre? He just said that they couldn't beat it. But then again, it's also his fault for putting the ogre there in the first place.
Whoa! What the hell, Mike? I rolled a 20 and a 17. Why did I do 0 damage?
It's no use, Schmoopy. This ogre has a special race of passive ability that reduces all damage he takes from attacks by 9.
Ogres don't have any kind of damage reduction, but if you want this ogre to have damage reduction, then that's fine. I mean, I reiterate, once again, you put this ogre in the game at this level, and take it from someone who has experience with status quo wilderness encounters, you shouldn't force them on the player. Even if you're trying to make it realistic, what are they going to do? Try to run away and fail? Try to fight and fail? You're just killing them. You're not trying to run a realistic game. You're trying to run a good one. Stick to level appropriate encounters.
Try to use your poison attack, PD! Holy crap, it worked! You successfully did something useful, little guy! And here I was thinking your purpose was solely for Unforgotten Realms merchandise.
Great. You poisoned him to do 1 damage every turn.
Every point of damage helped, Mike.
Now you'll notice that the poison in Unforgotten Realms works more like some JRPGs than it does in pretty much any tabletop RPG. It does a flat 1 damage per round.
The ogre retaliates with a massive swing of the club, hitting all 4 heroes,
Ogre sound.
dealing 6, 6, 5, 4 damage to all our heroes.
What the freaking crap, Mike? He hit all of us with a single attack? You mean that guy can hit all of us at once?
Okay, no. Great clubs are not an AoE attack. Not even for the largest creatures in the game. I mean, you can attack multiple things at once if you're using like the cleave rules, if this thing has the cleave feat, but only if you successfully kill your first targets. You can't just hit 4 people at once. But again, you made this creature, Mike. Why did you make it so unbelievably overpowered and undefeatable? I mean, I get that your original intent was for you to sneak past them. Did you have a plan for what would happen if you failed your stealth checks?
Alimus attempts to buy the hero some time by using his once-a-day magical ability, Swords of Light.
That is a completely original spell. It's not in D&D 3.5, and I guarantee he made it up just now.
The Swords of Light will grant us 3 free rounds of combat to attack the ogre before breaking.
Then we'll have to do as much damage as possible in that time.
Use your most powerful attacks, guys. It's our only way to defeat him.
Petey, hit him with a hyper beam! What, still? Just bite him. Jacques, mind control that giant boulder at him. Alright, Elymus, hit him with the biggest fireball you've got.
Mon ami, le ogre. The Swords of Light! No, they're breaking early!
What? I thought you said we had at least 3 free rounds to attack the ogre.
The ogre is just too high level. The Swords of Light have a chance to break early on high level monsters.
This whole chance of the Swords of Light breaking and them managing to break right away is Mike's way of saying, yeah, our strongest attacks can't do anything, we're dead, best not to prolong the inevitable. At this point, he should just end combat and say that the heroes die. Instead, he decides to give the heroes a facsimile of hope, which surprisingly turns out to be in their favor.
Ogre sound.
That is some surprising attention to detail. Not that I assume that the creator of this cartoon is paying any attention to detail, but Shmoopy has taken exactly 12 damage so far, and wolves have 13 hit points.
Alright, I cast Enlarge on Petey.
Huh? What was the point of that?
To increase his size, idiot. Now, Jacques, use heal on Petey. Oh, mon ami.
Great, what's the point of all this? The ogre's attack is still going to hit the rest of us. Petey is going to be the only one who will live, you idiots.
Okay, now Petey, eat us.
What? What the hell, Rob? Now how are we going to... Wait. This is brilliant. No, in fact, wait. This is perfect. The ogre takes another swing at the heroes, but is only able to hit Petey, dealing 6 damage.
As long as we're inside Petey, we can still heal him, but the ogre can't hit us. Every turn the ogre will swing at Petey, dealing damage that we will heal instantly, but every turn he will also take 1 damage from Petey's poison.
It's cheap, cowardly, and borderline rule-breaking, but I like it.
Cheap, cowardly, and borderline rule-breaking, but I like it. That is what you should have been saying all along. It's fine to follow pre-established rules so that you have consistency, so that the players understand how the game is played, so that they know their limitations. It's fine to break those rules once in a while if it makes for a better story. But you've been complaining about doing that up until now. And it's only because this part is awesome to you that you have decided that it's okay this time. Not any of the other times, or any of the times after this. Just this time.
And now all we gotta do is wait for the turn-based montage to do its thing.
Just want to point out real quick that Enlarged Person does not increase the target's hit points at all, and that Petey is still taking a cumulative 1 point of damage each round. So if you expect me to believe that your version of Enlarged Person increased Petey's maximum hit points by over 70, you're full of shit, Mike. Why are you actually tracking the hit points one at a time? You know the same thing is going to happen every single turn. Also, how does Jacques have infinite heals? Just skip this part. You don't have to write any of this shit down. Just... See, this is what I'm talking about. When I first started running Dungeons & Dragons, like 4th edition, which was my first edition, I would make the players finish every fight, even if there was absolutely no way that they could fail after a certain point. Like, once you've got, like, the last couple skeletons down to just a couple hit points each, and everyone's still in good shape, what's the point in making them continue their attack rolls? Just say you finish off the skeletons and you win. Whatever couple of hit points that they might lose is not worth dragging the fight on. Just skip the boring parts. The only reason you have combat in the first place is for the same reason you make skill checks, to resolve uncertainty. You look at the two sides. If you have to ask which side will win, and you don't know for certain which side will win, then you have a combat. But if one side is pretty much guaranteed to win, then you just make them win. You don't have a combat, it's a waste of time.
One more turn, that ogre will die from the poison. I use heal.
I heal Petey.
Mon ami, je suis le heal. What? He's still alive? What's going on, Mike?
Oh no, that's right. You can't kill someone with poison. You can only reduce them to 1 hit point.
You can't kill someone with poison in Unforgotten Realms. Remember earlier when Nalo cured Schmoopy's poison so that he wouldn't fall over dead? You can't kill someone with poison. You can't die from poison. Remember, Mike? Remember your rule? Remember? Remember?
Are you freaking kidding me? So this asshole has 1 single hit point, and we have no other way to do damage to kill him.
I'm afraid so.
God damn it!
Your rules need to be consistent, especially if you're the one changing them. Otherwise, there's no point in having rules. Dungeons and Dragons may as well just be a game of Calvin Ball.
Okay, Petey, spit us out.
Wait, no, stop, you idiot! Oh, great. Well, now we only got one turn to kill the ogre, and Petey already used his move.
You're right. Petey used his move, but not his attack. All right, everybody on top of Petey.
Wait, I don't understand. What's the point of getting on top of Petey?
We're gonna totem pole that, Mike. Just like how the Indians beat the Cowboys on World War I. One single powerful attack, all at the same time. All right, boys. Petey, you use your hyper beam. Jacques, I want you to mind control as many rocks as possible. Mike, cast a fireball, and I'll use butt flare.
Yeah!
No, this can't be the end. I have come too far. I have so much left to do. I won't lose. No, not today. Not ever. I will do what it takes. I am Sir Schmoopy of Ossington. I will not be defeated. I will not be defeated. I will not be defeated!
Rob.
Hey, that counts, Mike. The dice wasn't done rolling. Feel the wrath of the legendary hero totem pole, fool! Ha!
This totem pole strategy makes absolutely no sense. First of all, Mike, suddenly you're allowing Petey to have Hyper Beam when Schmoopy has been asking him to do it all this time and he keeps saying he doesn't have it. Also, since when has Schmoopy needed to roll for Flare at all? And why should he? What the hell is Flare even gonna do? It doesn't even do any damage. We've established that. He's cast it so many times. Also, simultaneous attacks in order to double up everyone's damage in order to bypass damage reduction is so unbelievably stupid. You know what I think? I think Mike is just tired of this encounter. He just wants it to be done and over with. And you know what the worst fucking part about all that is?
Calm down, Mike. You never need to worry with Sir Schmoopy of Ossington on your side.
Are you okay, Schmoopy?
Yeah. Just felt a sharp pain in my chest for a second there. Don't worry, I'm fine.
That sharp pain in Schmoopy's chest? I don't know how Rob knows about it, because he expresses ignorance of it in future episodes, but what just happened was Mike applied to him what he calls a sin of the Unforgotten, which is this stupid meta fourth wall breaking thing where whenever a player cheats, which he supposedly did when he blew the die that Mike shouldn't have been making him roll in the first place, he gets a sin of the Unforgotten on his character. And later on they explain that when you get 5 sins of the Unforgotten, then your character's alignment permanently changes to the opposite of whatever it is. And as I explained in my previous video, changing a character's alignment has absolutely no bearing on their personality. An NPC's alignment maybe will change the way that they act because the DM has to act them that way. But not for player characters. You can't force player characters to act out their characters in any way that they don't want to. And Mike should know that better than anybody playing with Rob. So you are punishing Mike for finishing an encounter that you just wanted to get done and out of the way after you allowed it to happen in the first place. Also, I understand if the idea is that you're trying to foreshadow Sins of the Unforgotten as a mechanic in the game, because it does kinda come into play later on in the story when they get to Hogwarts. But that relies on the assumption that Rob is going to cheat enough times for it to matter.
Man, I can't believe Petey eating us was the smartest thing you could have done.
And then he goes on to continue complimenting Schmoopy for what a great idea his entire plan was, even though it broke so many rules, which Mike allowed, and he's punishing him for it. Okay, I just sat through all of episode 7 and there wasn't really anything in that one to talk about, so I'm guessing I'm done. Yeah, from this point forward, the series is just the story and two fuckers fucking with each other and also one of the fuckers fucking younger fucker. In short, don't follow Mike's example. Don't follow the example of Unforgotten Realms. It is meant for entertainment purposes only. And if you're like me, whose first encounter with D&D was Unforgotten Realms, or it's one of your first encounters with D&D, then expand your horizons a bit. Don't just focus on what Unforgotten Realms did. Unforgotten Realms is a parody. It's a comedy. If you're really looking for a good idea of how D&D could be played, I'm not going to say is meant to be played, or should be played, but could be played, Order of the Stick. Great example. Love Order of the Stick. I also just saw the Dungeons & Dragons movie, Honor Among Thieves. That's a great example too. It's also a great example of breaking the rules and making your own in order to create a more interesting and unique version of the world, as long as it's established early and consistent, which it is. The Honor Among Thieves does a fantastic job. If you are interested in hearing more actual DMing advice, I may consider doing a series on the subject, but I'm not going to be any better of a teacher than the Angry GM. Scott Rem of theangrygm.com has been my mentor of sorts, never actually met or conversed with him, for years, ever since I first discovered his blog back towards the end of 4th edition. And I own his book. His one book. Scott, you need more books. But that's all for today. So, until next time, I'll be here, in the darkness, quietly awaiting your return.